In this video, or I will say from this video, I'm going to open a new playlist or a course, you can say, how to use SEMRUSH Audit to improve your search engine presence, or I will say search engine optimization. So we will be using the SEMRUSH Audit feature. If you're not SEMRUSH user, then you should have a SEMRUSH at your disposal, because it is the best search engine optimization tool which is available there, and you don't need any other tool besides this if you are into optimizing your or your client's website. If you're just starting out into SEO, then you should know the power of SEMRUSH, and if you don't, then keep watching this video on how to improve your SEO presence, or I would say the search engine presence, using SEMRUSH Audit. Thing is, technical SEO should be your number one priority. Why? Because it improves the page experience, and page experience is what matters the most to Google. If you want to win a user from the search engine, obviously you need a good page experience, and for that page experience there may be a many technical SEO error that you may have incurred, or you may not be know about. Then you should have a SEO audit tool like SEMRUSH. SEMRUSH is not the perfect audit tool, not at all, but manual auditing is the one way to do it or excel in your SEO practices, because we are going to talk about the manual SEO practices in upcoming days. First, let me complete this as SEMRUSH audit tool, which is also the beneficial for you if you want to increase your search engine presence. So as you can see in here, how to create account, just go to the description or go to getsemrush.com, and there just sign up for the 7-day trial for $1 or something, and just see the power of this particular software, because it's beyond words. So how to create a site audit, just go to SEO section or create a project and go to the SEO audit, and there you will be able to create a site audit. Enter your URL, your site will get audited by the SEMRUSH. And here is the interface here. So before starting it out, why you actually need to care about this. If you see on the dashboard, there's the overview site health, and there are various metrics they have collected the data from. First, it's a crawlability. Crawlability is all about crawling your website URL, like 2 zeros, 3 zeros, or 400s errors or something like that. It's all about crawling your website, and if there is an issue, they will be here. As you can see, there's only 87%. That means it's not 100%. That means there are some issues that has been occurring in my website. And here's the HTTPS. We will talk about that, because Google only prefers the secured website, and for the secured website you need HTTPS. And there's also a more secured version which we will talk about, that international SEO. So I won't be doing this because it doesn't apply to my website, and so it is not there. And there is a Google Web Vitals, which we have already covered the whole playlist about largest contentful paint and CLS, and also the FID, TBBT, and there's a site performance. We will talk about that. Internal linking is also 77%, which is on the lower side, and here's the marker, which is 100%. That means it's good. So we will talk about this. There's the errors, warnings, and notices. You don't need to care about the notices, but we will see what can happen to improve that, and we will be caring about the errors and the warnings also. Errors and warnings will be our main priority, and you will be able to rectify all the error which you have covered, which you may have occurred from here. I will cover each and every error out there which you can actually apply that or implement on your website, whether you are running on WordPress or non-WordPress website. If you are running on a non-WordPress website, that means you are using a custom script. That should be awesome, because you may know a little bit about the coding, right? If you don't worry, you will be fine. So after crawling the here, as you can see, it has crawled from the mobile. So make sure your robots.txt doesn't have SEMRUSH crawler. Okay, so you should look about it. And there is a overview section. As you can see, everything here. As you can see, txt updates, file status, etc. Everything is there. So now let's go to the issues. So first issue you should go for or look for, if there is any, for the meta. Okay, and for first is to fix meta title. So here is my web page. As you can see, you see the front end of it, and if we see the structure of HTML structure of this, let's just right click and view page source. And as you can see, the title tag here is email privacy dash and webby, which is the website's name. So that's what Google actually, or any bot actually, script this and paste it on the search engine. How? Let me just search for this particular term, email privacy webby, and if we go to the here, as you can see, this is the same text that has been taken from the page, which is the title tag, and paste it to the search pages. That's how it's important to make it unique, make it catchy, such that it will catch the eye of users in the search engine. So if I see the other method properties here is a name and a description and the other. Okay, so title is the main thing that you should be unique and should not be the same across different pages. And to fix that, you have various methods to resolve it. First is actually change your title tag. And how to change it? If you need all those pages, right? For example, you have different pages that has a duplicate title tag and you actually need all those pages. You have to go that particular page and edit that and change the name of it. Okay, if you are on a WordPress, the quick fix is go to the post, go to the all post, and go through any URL which has a duplicate title tag and just click a quick edit on it and just change the title and you will be good to go. And if you have a pages duplicate title pages, just go to the all pages right here, click on the quick edit and change the title and click update, and it will change the title just like that. But if you don't have such thing and maybe there is some error or you don't need some title pages, or you have a custom script like us here and it has generated meaningless pages like this. For example, here is the email privacy, which is a tool page, and if I click on it, which is the duplicate title tag, and it redirects to the same page. So why is this page is actually getting scraped by SEMRUSH? Because there's maybe some links that has been pasted across this website by my employees or maybe by myself. Then this issue may have occurred because their bot click on each and every element and see if that page is actually valid, whether it's internal or external link. So we have done this deliberately just to show you how you can handle such error. So we have deliberately entered this particular internal link on some pages of our website to make it actually get the error from the SEMRUSH. So there we already got it. And to resolve this particular issue, what we need is to redirect this particular URL to the main URL here. And how you can actually do that? So first thing was to just change the title tag, and second method is to redirect this URL permanently or temporarily. There is a redirect code. First is 301, which is the permanent redirection. You can easily do that with the help of a tool, or you can also go to your Apache or NGX server's configuration file. There you can actually do it. So we will be going to deal with this particular redirection with the 301, which is a permanent redirector, and we will use it on our server. And there is a way to do that. If your website is on NGX server or Apache server, you have to figure that out by contacting your hosting services. If you don't have a hosting service, obviously you have already installed that on your website, then you may be using a Apache or an NGX that you already have figured out. So I presume that you have already figured out. So for the Apache part, my website is on the Apache right now, but I recommend everyone to use NGX because that is super fast. So here is a Apache configuration, which is the .htxs, and you have a different module or rewrite rule has been written. And what you can do is just type to redirect the internal link. You can use redirect match 301, which is the permanent. And in the next part, what we can do is here, this particular thing represent our URL, which because it's the internal redirection. So what we need is copy this just like that, add this particular keyword and redirect this to here. Okay, what it does is the URL which we are going to redirect is this. So webby.com is presumably assumed here and redirect to this particular page, which is the native page, right? And we will be doing that for each and every URL here. Just copy this particular URL, go to the same htxs file and write again redirect match 301. Let me just paste that particular URL and let me, okay, so it just pasted the SEMRUSH one. Let me delete that again and let me copy this. So there you go. Just add that operator and this particular operator, which is $, or however you want to call it, and redirect that to the same URL. And there is this, obviously one we needed for ourselves, and there you go, redirect match, the local one, paste that duplicate title tag URL should be the same. Adding a again operator, this is a $sign, and there we need this particular redact, right? And there's two more, I think. Let me add that quickly. Bitcoin price calculator. Okay, it's already done. And there is this thing also. If you have something like that, like there's a slash button which represents a directory, you can either just redirect this to this or this to this. So I will be redirecting this because we have already redirect these three to the other part. And let me just copy this, and there you go. Let me just save that. And in some cases you might need to restart your Apache server. So in my case it won't be. So if I open this, let's see what it does. Okay, so it's just redirecting this and give us this particular route. So the end result is the same. And if we just do that, and it also give us the route of this, so end result is the same, right? And let's just rerun this particular campaign and let's see if this particular issue has been resolved or not. In the meantime, let's discuss how you can use the same redirection in the case of Nginx server. So there is a blog which we have already posted. Let me give you the link, or yeah, here is the link which I will provide in the description box. And if you go to this create a URL directory version on Nginx server, so you need to go to the Nginx configuration file, just like here. This will be the Nginx configuration file. You just need to go to this particular blog and you will be good to go. And after that, obviously you need to back up that configuration file. And what you need to do is you need to write this particular code, rewrite the same way which we have done on the Apache server, the same thing, and rewrite to the new URL. And in the last, you don't need to add any code 310302. You need to add the permanent. So it will tell the Nginx service to permanently redirect this particular URL to this particular URL. And for the internal links part, you can do the same which we have done in the Apache part. It will be fine. So hope you understand how to add on the Apache and on the Nginx server. And if you still have a doubt in the Nginx server, I will create another video or a tutorial, but I think this tutorial will be good to go. I will put the link in the description box. And the next part is how you can actually add a redirection in WordPress. So what you need to do is you must have a redirection plugin. I don't suggest you to add any other redirection plugin. Just use one SEO plugin which is called RankMan, because it solves all the problems out there. If you have a schema problem, if you have a optimizing a blog post, which we have already done in the past, so it includes everything, 404 monitor and everything. So what you need is go to the redirection, go to the RankMan plugin sidebar and go to the redirection. And here what you need to do is go to the add new section, and the source URL will be the URL which has a duplicate title tags. And for example, the source URL will be, the WordPress has been installed on my blog part. Let me give you an example. Here is the source URL, okay, and it should be the exact, okay. And if you want to add another, like we have done here, you can add all these URLs, just like adding more and more and more, because if we all these are going to redirect to the one page, then there it is. And say here's the destination URL. So destination URL will be the page you want that particular URL to be redirected to. And let's just say I want the redirection to this page, and there is the 301 permanent move, and there's a different settings down there, or temporary redirect or something like that. I will be doing the permanent move. It should be the solution for you also. And there you go. So the redirection to category, if you want to add any redirection category, you can also do that. And is the activate and schedule activation. I don't think that will be of any use for you. Just click on add redirection and you will be good to go. I won't be adding add redirection because it messes up my pages. So that's about it. And you can manage all the redirection here. Just see all the redirection which we already posted it, and you can easily add it and see how many hits actually get it. Okay, so that's how you can use a plugin or a RankMan plugin to redirect any URL on your WordPress website. So there is my audit again, and result of the audit again. So here is, there's no error of the email privacy one, which we have already done here using this particular method. So that error has been resolved, as you can see. And there is other issues also, and the same issue, as you can see, the -15 here, and the error has been reduced to more -15 here. Let me go to the issues again and go to the title tags, duplicate title tags, and that issue has been resolved. And in the next part, we will cover 3 pages have duplicate meta description. And to have a duplicate meta description, what that means. And if we open that particular error, we are seeing the 3 URLs that has the duplicate meta description. And if I open this, as you can see, the number of duplicates are 2. And if I open all these 2 errors and see what are the meta description of the both, just page source. Let me open the page source of this also. So as you can see, meta description is empty here, and also I think, yeah, it also here. So meta description are empty. That's not a good way, or I would say that's a red flag for you, because if Google scrape this particular URL, if they don't find a meta description, the chances they might reject your website or maybe issue in indexability. So to improve this, we need to add a good meta description, and there is actually example of good meta description which you can find in the Google resources. They have recently launched a blog, like just search for good meta description. Here you will have a article from Google. Here is how to write a good meta description, and here they have given a many example. You can just scroll down to here. Here is a link. I will put that link in the description box, better or best. And there's also another way. If you don't know how to create a meta description, then you can use an AI content creator tool like Jasper, and I use Jasper a lot because it helps to elevate my writing process to another level, or you can say I write much faster than before using this particular tool. So I will also create another playlist or a course about it. If you want to sign up to this, you can also find a link in the description box. And if I go to the templates, and there is the SEO part, and the SEO part, there is a meta title and meta description part. And here in the product name, I need to enter a title of this, which is a SEO checklist tool. And keyword to include, I will say just this, and product name will be this. Let's generate, and let me log into my page. So I'm using a custom script here in my main section, and in the blog section it's WordPress. So here's the custom script, as you can see. And now for the local SEO checklist, going to the edit. So there's a 2 checklist, right? Okay, one is SEO checklist, and for the SEO checklist, let me go to the SEO checklist. Here is SEO checklist, and here's the meta description. You must have a meta description column even if you are using a custom script. So you must have this particular column. If you don't have, then ask your coder or a developer, or even if you're a developer, then you should set up the meta code on your pages. So if you are into WordPress, I will tell you also the process of adding to the WordPress website. So let me go to there. There it is, and there is a meta description. There is a 3 variants of this particular, and of this particular outcome you can choose any which is suits your best. Let me copy any from here. So this looks perfect. Let me copy that, paste that here, click on update. Checklist updated successfully. Let me just reload that and open the view page source. So yeah, we have got our meta description. What is the second URL? So second URL is the local checklist. Okay, let me create a new meta description for the same. Just need to add a local to it. Checklist list, and here is a local SEO checklist. Going to the edit, and there it is. Okay, so it's still generating. Let's wait. And there's a third URL also, SEO audit checklist. Okay, the third one. So let me open that in the new tab. So SEO audit checklist. Okay, there it is. Let me go to here. This sounds good. Let me refresh that. They created anything in the history? No. Generate. Okay, so here's the outcome. Let me open that. So this looks good. Let me add that into the local checklist one here. Okay, and let me go to this URL and see if it's working. Yeah, there it is. It has been filled. So we have left with only one, the SEO audit checklist. So you need to type copy and paste each and every meta description right here. Yeah. Well, this looks good. Let me add that. So all three has been added. So let me go to the issues again. Errors, have duplicate meta description. The 3 URLs has been done. So let's click on rerun campaign. Let me tell you how to add meta description to your WordPress blog. And for the WordPress blog, you need to have any SEO plugin, but I suggest you to use RackMath plugin because that's the best out there. And let me open my development blog.co, and there it is. Now if I open any blog post here, and if I right click and click on view page source, as you can see, there are so many metas out there for social media. There's a Twitter card, and there's a OG open graph, which is also for the various social media like Facebook, Pinterest or something like that. And there's also a meta description. Here it is. So let me open this particular blog's admin URL. How to add that? First you need to have RackMath plugin. So that's a mandatory. Why? It's not that you don't want to add any SEO plugin, but RackMath is the best out there. And for that part, what you need to do is go to any post, like let me check the all post here. Even if you don't have a meta plugins out there, you can easily add that in your WordPress blog post, but I suggest you to have a meta plugin. So WordPress, what they does is they will include a description of the first few lines automatically in their meta description tag, so you don't need to add an extra. But I suggest you to use a plugin and add a custom meta description because it helps you to write what it suits the best. That's why Google emphasis here on adding a good meta description. Like here you can just add this particular URL to bookmarks like Ctrl+D, and you can add that such that you will be able to go back here and check if your meta description is up to the mark as per the Google standard. So here, as you can see, there's a RackMath plugin installed, and you can add any snippets here. This enables you to add a custom description. As you can see, it has accumulated from the first paragraph, and you can add your own description here. Whatever we have copied from Jasper, you can just paste it here. All right, that's how you can add meta description to WordPress website. And now moving forward to the next error. Okay, so next error is 2 pages returned 4xs status code. 4xs status code is when a URL cannot be accessed. Okay, if you see why and how to fix it column here, it says a 4xs error. 4xs are there are many 4xs error: 401, 402, 403, 404. So generally it's a 404 where the URL has cannot be accessed or not found. And if we see, means that a web page cannot be accessed. So it affects which category? First is HTTP status, and then the crawlability. And whatever we have solved here in the overview section, you see the crawlability and HTTPS section. So if we improve this issue, the 404 issue, it will also improve our scores of this. So that's how you can easily improve that score. And if we open that, we will see the list of affecting URL. And here, as you can see, there is a blog, Gmail hacks, that's a blank here. So let's see, view broken link and open that. So it says the broken. Okay, so blank. Okay, so that means this URL has been deleted. I don't think that's actually the mistake can happen, obviously. And to resolve that, what you need to do is see if you can actually make that page. Okay, make that, what that means, you can actually create that page and add content to it. And like, for example, this is a page here, and if you can add that page or add a blog to it or add something and fill the content, then this will be erased. And the second is to redirect such URLs using 302 redirection. And how to do that? You can easily do that with the help of, on the WordPress part, with the help of a plugin called RackMath. RackMath has built-in redirection plugin which you can use. Let me go to the blog here. You should use the RackMath plugin because there's n number of reasons why you have to go for it. Go to the RackMath section and click on redirections, and there will be multiple direction that has been there already, and you can just click on add new. And the source URL, what will be the source URL? Source URL will be this. Let me copy that, paste that. And the destination URL, what it does is it's just adding /blank to it. But if I delete that blank, or I will say here it's giving me a 404 error, right? And now what I can do is I can see which folder or sub URL is working. If I delete the blank part, and here, yes, it's working right here. And so what I can do is I can redirect the blank/blank to this particular URL using 301, which is the permanent redirection. And to use that, we can have a redirection plugin here. And you can use the temporary, you can set a timer when it can expire, but I will be using the permanent here. And let me just, destination URL will be this. The move will be permanent, obviously. And you can also add the content deleted or something, but I won't mind moving permanently. So add a redirection. Okay, so after adding a redirection, let's just test this out. Okay, the view, so it get redirected, so it's working fine. And the next is, this is a plagiarism checker, which is giving me a 404 error, which is not found error. And let me see what I can do. The first thing is, either I can just make a page and create a content around it, but I don't think that will be needing. Why? Because if I go to the SEO tools here on my page and go to the plagiarism checker pro, so we have a pro version. Why we need to use a simple version? What we can do is we can redirect this particular URL to this particular version, right? And to do that, we will be needing a simple redirection, and for that we can use the Apache redirection, or we can use the NGX. It depends on your server, which server you're using, or I would say the which web server you are using, and either you will be using a Apache server or NGX. I'm using Apache, which is I think quite old. I need to move over to NGX. If you're using NGX server, you can also do the same. And for the Apache part, what you can do, either if you are using a WordPress, you can choose this redirection option, but what I'm doing is I'm also telling for the non-WordPress users. So as you can see, the blog section is for the WordPress and main site is a custom script. And what I can do is just redirect 301 this to this particular URL. If you're not getting or watching this code, I will put that in the description. Just type redirect 301, get the old URL which is not working or getting a 404 error, just add a space to it, and this will be the final URL. Just click on save. After I click on save, let's test that particular URL out. Click on it. So it's still showing the 404 error. Maybe I've entered some code. Yeah, we need to enter this. Yeah, so it get redirected to the pro version. So obviously if you are using your own domain, you don't have to put your HTTPS or something. Just add a slash and your folder path, and then add a space and then your new URL. So it has also been working. If I just check both URL, is it working now? Yes, first is working, and second, yeah, it's working also. So that's about it. That's how you can easily fix your 400 status code. And now let's test out for the 404 code. Let's rerun it. Now in this part, we will learn how to fix internal images are broken. So as you can see, there are 4 internal images that has been broken. What you can do is, and why does that happen? It says an internal image, broken image is an image that can't be displayed because it no longer exists or the URL has been changed. To fix that, there multiple way to fix that. First is you can actually replace that image with the new image, or you can actually delete that code where that old image URL are already there, or you can move that URL to another URL or redirect that. And let's see how we can fix it. It depends on situation to situation. Your situation may be a different, so mine can be a different. So to fix that, let's open what URL it's affecting. So there it is. As you can see, the code difference tool, and there is the icon number 2 word. Okay, if I open that, there's a tool. If I go to the view page source, no images. Let me go to the SEO tool here, search for the tool which is actually affecting number 2 word. Number 2 word is actually working. I don't know from where it's getting this particular URL. Let me open that again. So they may be getting a this particular SVG from here, and let's just open this. There may be a example. Okay, it's also working. Let's see if number 2 word open here. Okay, so there's nothing like that. Okay, let's try redirecting that with the same, but in such cases you should either delete that particular image URL or you can replace with the new. Just see the file name, that is number 2 word svg, and go to that particular folder. If you are using a file manager, then what you can do is just watch that particular folder's path. That's the root URL and there is theme. So if I go to the root URL, this is the root URL, there is a theme, and there is the next is NTS, and go to the NTS, and next is icons, go to icons folder, and the next is number 2 word svg. And what we can do here is, so if I search for the number, okay, so it's a number 2 word svg, so it's there. I don't think that why it's showing this particular URL. So what I'm going to do is just copy this and put a redirect to it. So as you can see, if you don't find that particular URL or a path, you can replace with the new image. Okay, just upload that using upload option in your file manager, or you can also upload from the FTP. And if it doesn't require, then you have to remove that code from your script. So how to remove that? You have to go to that page's PHP or backend and remove that. And in the WordPress, you can easily manage that using your all post section. So how to do that? Let me give you an example. Like here, go to your all post, edit any post from where it's getting infected or affected. Just change that particular post. Okay, just delete that and change that. And in the script there, you can do is just replace that image URL with a new, or you can just delete that code. And okay, so audit has been done. Let's see, there's actually no, oh, so error has been replaced. As you can see, we have jumped to 84% and only 2 errors has been left. If we go to the issues, so only we have get the left is 2 internal images are broken. So we have deleted everything except this. So 2 images has been broken. Let's see which images are those. Hopefully that's the same URL. I think, yeah, that's the same URL. And if we go to the summer file generator, I don't find any URL of that nature. And if you see, yeah, if we go to here, if there is any URL that consists this, so I'm redirecting this to a URL of image. So to do that, this is the same thing which we have already done, adding a redirect 301 only to the new URL. Click on save, and let's see if it works or not. So now it's working. Let's see and try to run campaign if it's working or not. So generally for this type of error, you need to replace that image with the new, like I have already discussed. Just follow that path and you need to upload the images to that particular section. Or the second is you need to delete that image code and put an end to this particular error. So there's a 2-way, but there's a different way. If you have come across this particular error like that, I don't think that will be an option in there, because it's a rare situation. If you have such a situation, you have to redirect that. So redirect will be the only option. So let's see if it's working or not. So in the overview section, as you can see, the error has been done. So this too will also be done. So as you can see, the crawlability is being increased to +3, and now we have issues with the 394. As you can see, the healthy is only 2, the broken is nil, the redirects are 47. So that's understanding, because you know why it is. And we see the crawlability. Now what is that all about? As you can see, the crawlability has 2 sections. First is non-indexable pages. Why is that? Because I have put so many URLs are there that shouldn't be indexed by them. So that's why there's a 236 non-indexable pages and 390 is indexable pages. And why you need to do that? Because you should only prioritize those pages that have some content on it, that you want that particular URL to be ranked on search engine, not the useless pages like contact us. Or if obviously if you are in the local business, then contact us should be on the indexable pages. Like there is actually many subdomains. Let me tell you which ones are. So if they have any data on it, I don't think they have any data on it. So as you can see, the blog blocked from crawling. The blocked from crawling is I have blocked that in my robots.txt. So how and where is robot.txt? Here it is, /robots.txt. It helps to allow or disallow some URLs or index or no index some URL from your website. So here, as you can see, there are some allow section, there are some disallow section which I don't want them to crawl, and there is some no index section which I don't want them to index on their search pages. So that's about it. So that's why it's non-indexable pages, and there is indexable pages which is 390. And here, as you can see, sitemap versus crawl pages. So there are some pages that I don't want to be included in the sitemap. There's an SEO perspective to it, why you should not add those URL in your sitemap, because adding a sitemap URL like tags, keywords, or that, because that's all part of your website's navigation. So you should not submit that on Google. You only submit those URL that you need them to be get some traffic from Google. Okay, that's about the crawlability. So crawlability score is 89%. I accept that because I need those URLs to be excluded from sitemap or excluded to get crawled or non-indexable pages. So there are temporary redirects, which we already know, and permanent redirects. If we open the temporary redirects, as you can see, there's a login. If they click on it, it will redirect to the Facebook page. So there's a temporary redirect, and that's fine. That's actually very fine. And there is webby.apple. If I click on it, it redirect to this page and has a hash to it. Hash is to identify that uniqueness of this particular crawler. That's why it's a hash to it. So you may not get such error. So if we get the HTML compressor here, it open to log into your account. That's a temporary. The page is available, but it needs to have account to open. So there's also the page speed checker out there. So you have, it's a redirected with a soft redirect, or you can say the temporary redirect. Okay, so I'm moving forward to the overview. So yeah, there are no errors. So that 404 error also being fixed. So that's how you can easily fix your 404 errors. Okay, so let's move on to the warnings here. So errors are 0, so that's a big thumbs up. And there's a warnings. First is 717 issues with unminified JavaScript and CSS file. So I've already done videos on Core Web Vital, and unminification is also the vital part of it. And so in this video, we are going to unminified these issues, and if we open it, we will find the affecting URL or affecting file there. So these are actually the files, so different URL there. Let me see which is the unique URL. As you can see, there's a cdn.webby.com, and there is CSS file that's affecting it. If we open that, oh, so it's not at all minified. So how to minify a CSS file? So let's just open our static CSS file, which is new main.css. And if we open that, if we go to, as we can see, it's being configured with the CDN. So I will open my CDN storage, bunny.net. So I use bunny.net to store my static files because that's actually the best out there. So as we can see, there is new main.css file. Okay, so that is it is. Let's see. Yeah, new main.css. So there's only one new main.css. If I download that, so it's been downloaded. And to minimize that, what we need to do is go to webby.com and go to the SEO tool and search for the CSS minifier. Yeah, CSS minifier. If you open that, either you can just upload this particular file, or you can copy and paste the code here. I will open the file here. So go to downloads, new main, and click on compress file. It will start compressing it. So the original file was 116 KB and compressed one is 102. Click on download. So we have got this, and now show in folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and rename it with that particular file, and now I'm going to overwrite that on my storage server. So here it is. Let me upload it with the new file, or a new compressed minified file. So as we can see, this is a new main. Oh, so it has been edited on December 12. Okay, so let's see if it's actually working. To rerun the campaign and going to the overview again. So there is a warning, so let's wait for it, and let's move on to another issues. So There is a 350 pages have low text HTML ratio, and this is actually a very important topic to discover. If we click on why and how we fix it, your text to HTML ratio indicates the amount of actual text you have on your web page compared to the amount of code. This issue is triggered when your text to HTML is 10% or less. Search engines have begun focusing on pages that contain more content. So that is why a higher text to HTML ratio means your page has a better chance of getting a good position in search results. Less code increases your page load speed and also helps your ranking. So it also helps search engine robots crawl your website faster. So there is one category which is the indexability. To increase that indexability, you need to have a more text than your code. So if you want to find out if you don't use SEMRUSH, then you can also use our SEO tool and search for the code here. So just keep on searching and there's a code to text ratio. If you want to find out the code to text ratio for, let's say, let me go to the blog and search for any blog out there. There you go. So let me paste that and click submit. So as you can see, the code to text ratio is 11.4%. So that means it is above 10%. So that's why it's enough, but it's still low as comparatively. But if you see, there's always more text than an HTML. But if you click on it, that's why I don't prefer to add, or I don't prefer to use more WordPress plugin, because the more WordPress plugin you use, the more it get coded in your every pages to your header and to your footer. So I don't actually want to reduce that. As you can see, there's a more text to it and there's a little code to it, but there is a code. As you can see, there's a web code, and the code also include your images code, your videos code out there, like embedded images or video or something like that. So it includes the both, but above 10% is actually enough, but below it you have to optimize your content, and to optimize it you have to add more text to it. Don't mean to add meaningless text, just add text that has been related to that particular page. So if we go to the warnings here and go to the 350 pages that have low text to HTML ratio, if we open that, so first thing is homepage itself. So homepage has a low code to HTML ratio. If we just try a new URL and see what it is, so this only 3.45%. That's actually pretty low. So as you can see, there's are many pages out there. So you should ignore these URL like other admin page URL. You won't be giving that much importance to this page. Why? Because you need to give importance to only those that actually ranking on Google, or maybe you want them to rank on Google. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more content to my pages. So just I will be adding that and fixing this, and after that I will tell you how to do that again. So if I could open this AdSense calculator, as you can see, this is the page, but if I click on it and submit, so text to code to text ratio is very low. And to add more code to it, let's just see the page source. So there are many code out there, only these are the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more information about AdSense calculator and then see if we can improve. And to add about AdSense calculator, what I need to do is I need to include more content, and to include more content, fill more text, I need a content writer, or I need to enter my own content. But in this way I am going to use a AI content generator, and for the AI content generator I'm already using a Jasper. And to create a Jasper, what I need to go is to create a more content around it. Okay, and to create a blog post workflow, so these are 3 workflows. So if you choose the blog post workflow, it will create content on the fly. Let me tell you how. Just click on the start from workflow. If you are not a member of Jasper, you are missing a lot of fun right there, because it includes everything you need to know or need to create your own content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this blog post intro paragraph. So the blog post title is AdSense calculator tool. The audience is Google AdSense, so it just helps them to write about it, so active voice will be enough. So I need this content to be around 1000, above 1000 words. So if you are not, it says the Google AdSense is a pay-per-click, okay. So if you are not happy with it, you can just click on regenerate. It will regenerate it. Let's just find out the regenerated content. So there it is. Yeah, if we click on next, so the content will get pasted here, as you can see. So now it will create a blog post outline, the outline for this particular blog. Let's see what it does. So it has created 5 points outline. So what it says, what is AdSense calculator tool and what does it do? So that sounds amazing, right? And second is how to use the AdSense calculator tool. That also sounds amazing. And how to interpret the result of that calculator tool. Okay, that's also interesting. Tips for using AdWords for maximum effectiveness. So this is not as much as relevant, but we need to fill that content because content is all about tool. So I know any user that land on this page doesn't care what it is written, right? But Google want that particular user have the best experience and consume as much as information on that particular page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that as. So fast frequently asked questions about. So that looks pretty interesting, right? Click on next. So first will be this and keywords to include. If you want to include any keywords to the paragraph generator, you can include that. So I will say about I want to include AdSense calculator tool. So click on generate. So it looks fine. Okay, click on next. So it has been pasted here. So H2 is already there. Now what you need to do is you have to break this into the smaller paragraphs. Yeah, that's look fine. So this is the second outline, as you can see, which we have already covered here. So it will create a paragraph of each and every outline which we have created. Watch out the words is about 210. We need to add more to it. Just click on and read. If you want to include any keywords to it, you can do it. Let me add that. Click on generate. So as you can see, the warning has been decreased also. If we click on that, so there is fewer issues that has been earlier is major issues. So it's only left with the 687. If we open that, so there is some. Okay, so it's a minified. I don't know why it's showing as non-minified version. It is the minified version. If you see, I'm really not getting it. Anyways, just let it be. The purging has not been happened to each and every corner of the world, so this may take time. So let's forget about it and move on to the next warning, which is we already working on. So it looks good. Click on the next and break this into little paragraphs, which will be beneficial for the user and also for the Google. Okay, so I want to include only this particular and click on generate. So this is the third outline and you have to go on. And I will tell you if it's actually unique or not, and you can also add your own content to it the way you like what is the intent. You don't need to add anything to it and how to use it here. What I can do is just type like create a content here. So here step 1, I will say enter daily impressions. So this will be a subheading, so I will be writing this. So let's see if Jasper can do it. Therefore enter number of daily page impression in the first field. So I'm adding pic here just to denote whenever I'm going to paste that into actual content, I will insert a pic here. And the step second is page CTR in percentage. So this also with the heading 3. So in this way you are not dependent on AI to write your content. You can also including your own in the second field. So next is cost per click. And now Jasper will memorize the way you are writing and it will start writing that way. Let me give you an overview. As you can see, the third step, the second step, the first step. So it has been following the pattern you have been writing, and the same way it will start writing like that. Add a pic code here just to let know that I'm going to use that. So here's the calculate earning. Click There you go. So I will provide one pic also here. So that's what it is. So 503 words is already written in the 2 outline. So there's the third, how to interpret result of a. So let's just click on next and it will be pasted right here. So the content has been filling very brilliantly. Just break that into little pieces. There you go. And the next section, there's another outline for so I will be adding keyword only this. Let's click on generate. As you can see, the 650 words are already there, and let me click on enter next. So this is already here, so let me break that also into little pieces. There's it is. Yeah, that's fine. So let's generate another FAQ about that looks fine. And now in the last, it says the blog post conclusion paragraph. So it has started with introduction, outline, and explaining the outline part, and now we are moving towards the conclusion paragraph. If we click on generate, okay, so it has been created conclusion paragraph. Just click on finish. So I've got the conclusion paragraph, and let me just add a bit to it. That looks fine, and the words is about 1000. That also looks fine. And now I want to see if it's pluginarized or not. So I will be using my own tool because I rely on my tool. Why? Because it is the API is from the Google itself, so it's the more accurate one. So total words is but limit is this. So let me delete something from the conclusion paragraph. Yeah, so that is check for plagiarism. So it has been checking. So here it will get a unique meter and a plagiarism meter. So there's no thing such plagiarized right now. 75% has been done. So we got the unique one. So all these paragraphs are unique. So it's a free tool. You should check that out. And now we are going to paste that in the admin section. The warning. And go to that page just like your WordPress. Go to all posts and there search for it, like I'm searching for the AdSense tool right here. Click on edit and start adding your description like we already added there. So there's also linking. So I want to include this particular paragraph, so I won't mind that. Let me edit it everything down there. So is there an internal link? No, paste that. That looks fine. Delete all those spaces. It may happen. So there is some pics we need to enter with. I will do it in a bit. So this look fine. Let me save and see if it's working. Going to the same URL. Okay. So text to code has been risen to 6.44%. So that means we need to add more. Let's see what we can add more to it. Looks fine to me. This also looks fine. Okay, so we will add a more paragraph to it or more content to it. Let me just, okay, so before adding more to it, let me add. So there is the people also ask which I want to add to my content. Here is my content in the as about. Let me paste that. So this will be in the h3 tag and using Jasper to write it. So this is one, and third will be this. Okay. Okay. So it's keep on writing, maybe. Yeah. So let's add more. Okay. So that looks enough. Let's see if this particular content can fill up my, yeah, from it started from here and ended right there. Let me add that in the FAQ section. Let me delete those. Okay, let's see. So it's about 9.39%. A few things is left there. So what I'm going to do is, maybe there's other things that has been affecting. You can add one or more paragraph to it, and that goes to the 10% mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete more code from the head, just like this, and see if it does work. Okay, so if you have a more code and some codes, you can actually delete that from your header such that your text to HTML ratio may be perfect. Like here I can see there's a style name, there's an internal CSS link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my main CSS files, like a new fonts file, new select two files. Okay, so whatever internal CSS are there, I will be included into CSS such that it will decrease our HTML to text code ratio. So for that part I will be skipping that because I will be going to display that in the upcoming minutes. So far so good. Go to the overview section. More warning has been deleted from the minified CSS. Okay, it's fine. So for this part, that's how you can actually fix this, have a low text to HTML ratio. So I will be fixing that and get back to you. Let's see if I can delete all of it.